The emancipator who believed in liberty was marked by personal tragedy and the brutality of civil war. Lincoln fought to preserve the Union, and in doing so, freed millions of slaves. Yet the weight of the nation's suffering bore down on him, and he was assassinated before he could witness the full fruit. Lincoln's life was defined by sacrifice, and his legacy is the epitome of courage in the face of national disaster. An icon of revolution, Che Guevara's face became the symbol of rebellious youth across the globe. But Guevara's fight was one of tragic disillusionment. His attempt to ignite global revolutions ended with his death in Bolivia, leaving behind a mythic legacy, but no tangible change. His death symbolized the destruction of hope, as the revolutionary dream he believed in faded into the cruel winds of defeat. A queen who wore the mantle of virginity like armor, Elizabeth I ruled England with an iron will. Her reign brought about the English Renaissance and the defeat of the Spanish Armada. Yet, beneath her formidable exterior, Elizabeth was a woman haunted by loneliness and the fear of betrayal. Her legacy is one of both immense triumph and personal sacrifice, as her isolation led her to forego love and family for the throne. The first president of the United States, Washington was revered as a hero, but lived a life marked by personal loss and war. His leadership during the American Revolution set the course for the nation, yet he was deeply troubled by the burden of his new office. Washington's true legacy is the creation of a nation founded on ideals, even as he personally struggled with the choices that came with such monumental responsibility. A young woman who led armies and changed the course of a war, Joan of Arc's life was both extraordinary and tragically short. She was burned at the stake for her beliefs, yet she became a martyr, her legend growing far beyond her years. Joan's sacrifice was one of unwavering faith, and her legacy lives on as the embodiment of courage against all odds, even in the face of death. The Sun King, who lived in the opulence of Versailles, believed he was divinely ordained to rule. But behind his gilded court, the lives of his people were marked by poverty and famine. His reign was a time of grandiosity, yet it was also a time of endless war, leaving France in ruins by the end of his life. Louis XIV's legacy is both a symbol of absolute power and a cautionary tale of the fragility of grandeur. A man whose peaceful methods led to the independence of India, Gandhi became the symbol of nonviolent resistance. Yet, his life was marked by intense personal loss and immense political struggles. Gandhi's death, assassinated by those he sought to unite, was a tragic end to a life that had been a constant battle for peace. His legacy, however, lives on as a beacon of hope in a world often torn apart by violence. A revolutionary who transformed from an angry young man to a passionate advocate for racial justice, Malcolm X's life was one of conflict and change. His fiery speeches ignited a movement, but his assassination silenced a powerful voice. His life was both a warning of the consequences of violence and a tribute to the power of words and ideas in the fight for equality. A revolutionary force who tore through Europe, Napoleon's ambition knew no limits. His genius on the battlefield was matched only by his ego, and his meteoric rise to emperor was shadowed by his eventual downfall at Waterloo. Napoleon's life was one of glorious victories and tragic defeats, a tragic hero whose empire crumbled under the weight of his own relentless hunger for power. Churchill's words rallied the British during the darkest days of World War II. But behind the brave speeches and wartime resolve was a man racked with doubt and fear. His leadership was essential to the victory over Nazi Germany, yet his political career was often marked by failure and rejection. Churchill was a paradox, a man who saw the world's darkest moments, but never faltered in his belief